Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Holy cow, so we're on a RC car and truck marathon recently. I've got so many of these things in. You can see kind of in the background there's a bunch of trucks I've been reviewing, and this one up today is the WL Tech, which should be by WLTOYS, a 120th scale little RC truck called Agility. It is four-wheel drive, and we're going to do a full review on this one today, unbox it, inspect it close up, and also take it out in the neighborhood and do a neighborhood bash and see how it does. So let's get started. So this is how the box looks. Just really quickly going to flip it around here. It does look like their number is 20409 for this item number. And you can see that it has a couple of different body configurations. This is the one I got. It also has more of a truggy and a truck body as well. Seeing a wheelie bar on the back. So apparently this one might have some good power, being it is lithium ion. Again, it is 120th scale. There's the truck I got doing a wheelie there. So anyways, let's go ahead and unbox this thing. There's usually a bunch of zip ties and crazy stuff we have to clear through. On the bottom we have an instruction manual, looks like a charger, USB little charger, and a wheel nut wrench. Remote control is held in with some zip ties, so let's pop that, pull this out. So it's kind of a norm on these ones. They have kind of a little bit of a generic remote control. This one's one of the nicer ones though. It feels pretty nice and beefy in the hand, and it has a handle on top, so I am digging that. And let's dig into the truck. So the truck is also zip tied with two zip ties on the front and back. So let me just cut these real quick and pull this guy up and out. And here's the truck, little desert racing buggy chassis. And the first thing I'm noticing is look at these accented anodized aluminum bracing on the front and back. And I'm also seeing that on the side. So we're gonna have to see if we can pop the body off of this and see how that all looks. Wheelie bar looking really good. Actually has wheels that spin. Looks like they are spinning just on bushings, but we also have some of that golden anodized aluminum spacers in there to kind of give it that nice accent. And then the body also has that kind of black gold look to it as well. It's so funny to me how they just put these names on these kinds of cars. It's got Battle, Extreme Sport, Savage on there. And you'd think, is that what this one's called? Is it one of those names? But on the box it says Agility, so I'm just going to call it the Agility. So really soft and pliable tires. There is no foam in these tires. The rims are just on with a nylon lock nut. Plastic rims there. So on the rear you can see how the rear is spinning really nice. It feels smooth and perfect. But on the front, check this out. Like something's binding slightly. So what it might be the metal on the plastic or plastic on plastic. So what we'll do is we'll drive it around in the drive test and see if that kind of works itself out. The suspension is very good. You see it's all independent, and that's as much travel as we can get there. So quite a bit of travel for this small little truck. I'm also seeing some LED lights. Looks like there's some hot glue holding some lights in. So we got two lights in the front. There's our power switch on the bottom, on off there. A lot of detail. There's a fire extinguisher. You know, there's some graphics inside. You can see the little driver nets there, window nets, and two helmets are actually visible with the top of the driver bust. And we have some molding on the dash. So pretty well detailed. Let's take the top of the body off, check out what's underneath. Okay, so taking the 4 body clips off, and then we want to be careful because we can see that we've got this wire harness in here. So I'm going to unplug these real quick just so we're not tugging on these wires while we're checking it out. But that's how that body just comes off. It just unplugs there. And check this out. So here is our chassis bracing. So it looks like it's like 1 millimeter thick aluminum, anodized aluminum, real aluminum on the bracing there. And even the side, look at that. That's kind of neat. Where the batteries are going in. One side has a battery. It looks like that's the battery there. I can see the blue cell through there. And then this side actually looks like it's just a circuit board. I can see some capacitors in there. So kind of a cool looking setup. I really like it. It looks like it's going to be super durable with this anodized aluminum. There's the antenna coming up for the receiver. Just a little micro servo. You can hear that thing turning. The drag links here are all plastic, and all of the servo stuff is plastic. I am seeing a steel shaft, look at that, running down the center. Drive cups and dog bones, so the entire drive line looks like it's steel. Not sure about inside the differential gears, but everything outside is definitely steel. So that's a big bonus. This thing looks like it's gonna have gobs of power. So these are just plastic shocks with no oil. So, you know, a little bit of a con there. I usually like to see these slightly higher end trucks at least have the ability to put oil in. But of course you could always upgrade if you wanted to. It does have a brushed motor. This is not brushless. That looks like a brushed motor in there. There's the same color anodized aluminum heat sink. So this side you can't open up, but this side, you see that little body clip there? Right in the front of the battery compartment. And if we pull that clip out, same as the other body clips, this just opens up like a little door. That's great. Look at that. It hinges. You're not going to lose this clip on the back. The door stays on. And it's actually a lipo lithium polymer, not even a lithium ion. So we're going to have a lot of punch with this one. 7.4 volts, 500 milliamp hour lithium polymer cell. Great. And it just has only a balance connector on the end here. But what you'll notice is this wire is thicker than regular balance wire, so it's going to be able to push more current through. Anyways, really that's it, guys. It looks like a great little truck. I'm really excited to test this out and bash it in the neighborhood here. Let me just pop open this battery bay just so we can look and see how many batteries this takes. And it does look like it takes 4 AA batteries. Getting back to the controller, there is a 1, 2, 3, 4 on the mode. So that usually means switch the mode of the frequency and you can race 4 of these trucks together. I'm gonna charge everything up, put some fresh batteries in here and a fresh battery, charge battery in here. And let's go ahead and take this bad boy outside and do a thorough running and bashing test. I'll meet you out there. Okay guys, let's give this little guy a proper bash. First thing I wanna do is take off this protective film. Forgot to do that in the house. So this stuff always makes it more shiny once you take all this off. You can leave it on if you want to, a little extra protection, but it sure does look nice if you take this stuff off. Look at that, nice and shiny, nice golden black look to it. So we got on the top, the front, and the sides, all this protective stuff. There we go. So look at that, a lot better looking, nice and shiny. Okay, so I'm hoping that this diff, I think it's the front diff, is a little tight, so hopefully that kind of breaks loose a little bit when we start driving. So we'll just power on the controller. We see a flash there powering on the truck, and it's not going to bind until you give it a little throttle or steer it a little bit. So there it is working. And you know what, I think this is going to be fine. I think what's happening is just the front diff's a little tight, which actually might be good for pulling it around in the corners. It'll actually pull it straight. You see how the rear is kind of loose, but the front is just kind of tight. So it may be actually intentionally like that. We'll see how it actually handles. So let's make sure our steering's good first. Looks like it's steering really good. It looks like maybe a little to the right. Let's just try to adjust our trim. Yeah, right about there should be good. Wow, this thing is quick, man. 2S. Okay, cool. So it looks like these trims do work. So we do actually have a throttle trim as well, or throttle rate. If I turn the throttle rate all the way down here, that's full power, full throttle. So if you know, if you're learning or your kid's learning, turn that down and then gradually turn it up as you get better so you don't hurt anybody. Okay, so here we go. This thing looks peppy. Let's go from just a standstill to a full throttle right now. Okay, yeah, it's gonna wheelie, that's for sure. That's great. So maybe that's why they loosen the rear diff a little bit, so it wouldn't flip over when it wheelies. It actually can, you know, break loose on the diff when it's wheeling. Let's try that one more time, not so much power. Wow. Wow, this thing goes, guys. Look at this. Woo! Oh my gosh, let's pop in wheelies everywhere. And it's fast. Oh, this might be another diamond in the rough, little gem. Wow. Wow. So it just look at this wheeling. Woo. Yeah, I think that might be why they loosen the diff just a little. All right, so we'll flip. If you kind of go fast to slow when you're turning. Let's see what the range is like before we really put it through a bash test. Let's go down the street. I'm just gonna hold the controller at my chest and go back and forth so I can see and feel it. It's got a good radio system. I'm all the way down to the other road. Oh, I don't want to go into that storm drain. So it wanders a little bit, probably because there's a little bit of tow out. wanders back and forth. Full speed. Whoa. Okay. Cartwheel test. Wow. Hey. Wow. So this thing is definitely fast but durable. Let's try another high speed test. It's almost hard to do a high speed test because it's so fast. Look how fast that thing is. Okay, full speed to full braking. Full brake. Wow, just lifts up a little bit. Did you see that? Super fast though. Very impressive. This is an awesome little buggy. The only other thing I can think of for it would be oil shocks. Otherwise, it's doing really good. So we'll just go ahead and bash it and see how long it lasts until the battery dies. See if we kind of break anything. But look at that, wheeling on demand. Even with a little bit of speed there. Let's see if we can, yeah, wow. That's great. So this is a wheelie monster. So stuff like that, the tires aren't quite big enough, it's gonna get hung up on stuff that's maybe a few inches high. Keep that in mind. All right, let's see how it is in the grass. Okay, that's about 1 to 2 inch grass there. Still goes okay, but that's really gonna hinder its performance. But it can still definitely run in it. But it's just made for, looks like mainly road and dirt, some rocks. Woo! There goes a snail. All right, wow. Man, this thing's quick. The braking's really good too. Okay, well, let's keep going. Let's hit some rocks here. Whoa! It's getting over them, that's for sure. I don't know if I'd do that all the time because its tires are kind of small. You hear it bottoming out when it drops from the curb too, so careful of that. He's just wheeling on demand, dude. Woo! Slowing down before I hit some rocks. Let's try a little bit of crawling. I'll try to go more over these smaller rocks. This is full-on four-wheel drive, and that front diff is pretty tight, so it should pull us out of some situations. Yeah, look at this. Okay, so you can somewhat rock race crawl with this thing. I'm trying to go reverse. Oh, that rock may have hit our on-off switch. Yep, that's what it did. So that's the problem with having a switch on the bottom is you have the potential for it to hit on rocks and stuff and turn itself off. We're back on. I'm glad that wasn't something else and just the off switch. Okay, let's keep on kind of crawling. So you know what you can do too is just put a little like tape something hard over that on-off switch if you're crawling like this. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more light on the throttle here. It's not really meant to be a crawler, and it might get kind of hot going slow like this and trying to crawl like this, but we're just trying it anyway. Oh, high centered. There we go. It can still do it. It's probably gonna get pretty banged up on the bottom of it, but look at this. It's just going for it still. Wow. Pretty capable little amazing little truck. You can see that diff working in the front and rear. Oh, was that just hopefully tire smoke? I saw a little smoke coming out the back. Yeah, I think that was just tire smoke, hopefully. Okay, just a little bit more in the rocks here because I don't want to like fry anything going so slow. There we go. Let's get out. Woohoo! All right. Continuing on. Still working great. Wow, it is just a quick little bundle of joy. Let's try some jumps, guys. So you're even a little bump like that, you're gonna nail it and flip over because it doesn't really have much suspension. Oh, did one of my headlights go out? Or did it just get dislodged? Okay, yeah, it just got dislodged. See that there? So the light popped out of the hole there. Okay, so something to be wary of. You might want to glue those in a little better. It just popped out. I'm just going to leave it for now. Okay, let's try some little jumps. Let's go off this curb here. Woohoo! Ah. Yeah. So again, this is not oil-filled suspension. So it's just going to like bottom out pretty much every time you jump. Let's try this little transition here. Yeah, but it's got a lot of torque. A lot of torque and speed. Climbing up, seeing this grass, the tires just aren't quite enough traction. Look at that jumping technique. Let's try a couple more jumps. Yeah, it jumps decent. Really good because it has so much torque. You can do short little jumps with it. Nice. Definitely a lot quieter in the grass. Cool, jumps good. Wow, it sure is fast. I can't believe how fast it is. Look at that. Let's see if we can break it on this rock jump. Woohoo! Ooh. Well, it lasted there. Worked. Nice. Nothing broken yet. Don't want to speak too soon. Knock on wood. Oh. Over backwards. Still wheeling on demand. Look at that. Wow. All the way down. Can't believe how fast this is. I know I keep saying that, but for 2S and just a brushed little truck, it is fast. Ooh, here goes that snail. And it brakes really good for how small and fast it is. Really impressed. Whoa, that was a nice jump. It had a little bit of an in-air correction, almost like it had a gyro in it. See that? It like went sideways and then it came back down straight. That's great. So popping over curbs, no problem. It's just gonna bottom out because it's so small, close to the ground. And it just wheelies everywhere. Yeah. Oh, let's see if we can get out of this. Which way did we go? Reverse this way. There we go. Got out. Got back up. Ooh. Yeah. Let's go down the street and come over the curb here. Yeah. Full throttle. Jeez. Oh, lucky thing it has good brakes. Because it's fast. I'm just going to keep bashing it until the battery dies. Oh, that was a hard hit. Hitting these rocks hard. See if we can hold a wheelie for a while. Oh, testing out that front bumper. Still fine, it just keeps going. It's so quick. Man, I sure am impressed at how fast this thing is. I know I keep saying it again, but it's just a little beast. Oh, let's attempt some curb hopping. A little bit of a shorter curb here. Oh. See if we go at an angle, a slight angle here. Not quite. This doesn't have the tire size and the tread to get over big stuff. Man, it's just going for it though, even in the rocks. I wonder if you could probably change the gearing a little bit. make it a little bit more of a capable crawler, because it's kind of just getting hung up with its low height. And you know that let me get some of the grass out of here. And you know this wheelie bar doesn't help it crawl either. The wheelie bar is a spot for it to kind of hang up. But while we have it here, digging out the grass, let's just do a little quick inspection of everything. See if anything's broken or cracked. Not at all. And that diff still feels nice and tight how it was in the beginning. This one's still pretty loose. This diff back here. A little bit of dry grass wrapped around the dog bone. Minor. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. So just some scratching here on the bottom. Let's just keep on going. Nothing at all is wrong with it. Wow. Let's keep on going. It's getting a little bit weaker. Just slightly. Yeah, I think we're just about ready for... There it goes. Okay. So that was low level voltage cutoff, and it did surprisingly well on everything. Very powerful little buggy. Let's feel the bottom. Just a little bit warm down here, nothing major. A little bit of a con was we saw it kind of switch off one time when we were in the rocks there. That's kind of minor, but that happens sometimes because of the switch placement. And the only really other con on this thing is it's no oil-filled suspension. So you could definitely upgrade the shocks, really easy upgrade, just unbolt them. Bolt-in oil-filled shocks. You can see that it's got that metal drive line, so they are preparing for how much power this thing has, and it has power. You can see it just pulling wheelies on demand pretty much everywhere I gave it full throttle. I was trying to launch it over some of those rocks and just like banging into stuff in the rocks. Nothing broke whatsoever. Look at that. Everything is just perfectly solid. The jumping was great. You can see it. Four-wheel drive little cars like this are known for kind of correcting themselves in the air. You can see it jumping, going sideways, and then since the wheels were spinning, you turn it a little bit and it does like an auto correction and lands with its wheels down. So pretty impressive little car, guys. It's got to have bearings. I didn't pull off. Let's just pull off one of these wheels real quick. So I'll just unscrew this Teflon lock nut. Super easy. Make sure we don't drop this and lose it. That's for sure. Pull this wheel off. Excellent. Wow. So it's got plastic hex drives. You see that? So it's got a cross pattern in the plastic drive there. And then, yep, there's some bearings. So it does have ball bearings. And then there is the little pin, drive pin too. So full metal drive line with bearings, guys. Very impressive. Don't want to lose that pin at all. So let's get that back on ASAP. So great truck, high quality, and just a blast. Enormous amount of power. And it seems like it's very durable too. Anyway, guys, links in the description so you can check it out, and I will see you in the next bash test and review. Thanks for watching.